Hello everybody, DCB here, and welcome to another video. Before we begin, please as always make sure that you like the videos you enjoy, share them with others you think will, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now that's out of the way, I would like to welcome everyone back to a discussion video. We haven't had one of these in a long time, or at least I haven't made one for a while. As viewers may recognise or know from my content being released recently, it's been mainly gaming and fitness related videos being pushed out. Now a lot of you I can hear saying, but what's that got to do with the three tenets of this channel? Discussion, culture and builds. DCP. What does that have to do with anything? Well, fitness and gaming are part of our culture. You know, they have a wide following in a lot of areas in the world. They've even become like competitions regarding around fitness. These are not what we call sporting events. There are, of course, many different types of sporting events revolving around being a fit individual, or as we like to refer to them, an athlete or sporting professional. These range from football, rugby, cricket, tennis, badminton, swimming, running, jumping, cycling, and a whole heap of other activities which can be performed on a professional level and have a massive following, as well as a considerable paycheck for the winners and trophies, glory, fame, and in some cases, immortalization. Now gaming. Yeah, what about gaming, I hear you say? Well, gaming has also become a massive part of our culture, not only influencing like the progression of storytelling, which is what gaming is, a evolution of itself, interactive storytelling where you are the main character, but also has developed into a competitive scene as well. There are events and competitions that take place with actual cash prizes for gaming. These are known as esports. These range from real-time strategy games to fighting games and shooting games, also known as RTSs for the real-time strategy, and FPS for the first-person shooter games. There are actual worldwide competitions and championships revolving around these. There's even a Pokemon one, which is a pair battling simulator, basically, like a fighting game, but with not so much button bashing. That's more of a strategy one. Yeah. It has developed and worked itself into our culture, adapting the ideas of cultures from around the world and putting them into a storytelling format. There's games based on North mythology. There's games based on historical events. There's games based on what we think the future would be. There's games based on horror and sci-fi stories from the past as well that have been reimagined and reinvigorated. There are even ones which are known as rage inducers, where it's designed to be so hard that you will die. Your character will die over and over and over again. These have become big things in a lot of cultures. It has integrated and evolved our storytelling mantra. Stories are the very essence of all culture. Ideas, thoughts, philosophies. And they are now portrayed through different media, be that books, film and games, which continue to grow and develop and graphically, technology improve and, well, immerse us in these stories that they are progressing. So that is why I've been doing a bit more gaming, because it's part of our culture, you know? It's part of our culture now. Same with fitness. Fitness is part of our culture. Plus, I wanted to get fitter. And in order to encourage myself and to give myself a reason not to slack off or to just sit on the sofa and not do it anymore. Because that's what happens with a lot of home fitness things. Because it was part of my New Year's resolution to become fitter. I decided that to make sure I have something to check myself against, to work towards, to have as a sort of judge to make sure that I'm doing it, or, you know, an extra reason, I decided to film it and post it onto this YouTube channel, which is why that's been here. As I said, it is also part of our culture and society to look up to people of a more physical mantra, you know? If you think of what's defined as sexy, as gorgeous, as hunky, it's normally a fit person, you know? Actors, actresses, they're mainly of what we would call a fit or sexy persona, be that male or female. How many times is a leading man or leading lady obese? How many obese people are there actually in the performing industry that are famous, that are seen as attractive? I'll give you a second there. I'll give you a second. I'll give you a few more seconds. Not that many, exactly. There's probably maybe one that you can think of that you can even recognize as being obese, that may be a leading lady or have or a leading man and have a role that comes to mind, or an immediate name that pops into your head when you're thinking of an obese actor that you see on TV or in films, or even famous. Yeah, you can maybe name one. Maybe not even name that one, but I'm pretty sure there's an obese actor out there, kind of thing. If you look at all the films that are out, that are mainstream, that are even if they're not mainstream, but all the films that are out there with their posters, with their with their DVD cases, if you watch the DVDs, or their stream tags, if you're streaming them through online streaming services, how many of those shows, films, have obese people in? How many of them have obese people in? How many of them have people with a physical disability in them? That's another one. And this is something I believe needs to be discussed and also needs to be looked on in further. The lack of diversity, I suppose you could say, within films and TV series. Now, obviously, there are limitations to what can be achieved. I'm not saying being inclusive for inclusivity. Don't be inclusive just for its sake, There are obviously restrictions that a disabled person can go through. I myself am mentally disabled with my autism, form of Asperger's, also with my dyslexia, which is a learning disability. Means that I have certain limits that I am not able to do. There are things that I am just not capable of doing because of a mental block, or because I can barely read or barely write due to, the fun of dyslexia. You can't expect somebody who is wheelchair bound to be doing massive action stunts. It's just not going to be possible. They can obviously do lots of things. They can portray an emotional scene. They can drive home a connection with us psychologically, you know? But they're not going to be jumping off buildings or driving cars really fast. So there are limits. And I can understand from a certain perspective why there isn't a massive representation of disabled people in the filming and TV industry. And even when there is somebody who is an actor playing a disabled person, that person is normally a fully able person, you know, and doesn't have a disability. It's a thing, and it's something I don't really have a lot of knowledge of. Not being in the performing industry for such a long time. In fact, I never actually got into professional performing. I only sort of did it as a amateur. Even my film stuff is classed as amateur because I've never actually been paid for it. I might need to hook up with from my performing arts friends who is a professional, and see if we can do a piece together on that. But that's something that we will be discussing another time. But yeah, that is it really. That is what I wanted to do today. It's like, yeah, I know that I've not been doing a lot of discussion videos or more different culture videos, and I have been focusing on gaming and fitness, which will continue on this channel. I will omit the gaming stuff, of course, from my Twitch live streams. Yeah, if you want to join in that and have a laugh, as always, click the link in the description below. But yeah, that's it. But there will be more discussions and more culture coming soon, so please bear with me. Thank you always for joining me today. As always, your thoughts are greatly appreciated, so please put them in the comments below. As always, like the videos that you enjoy, share them with others who you think will, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next one, this is DCB. Knowledge is power if we use it wisely.